Hey y'all, in today's video, we are sharing my top 10 setting powders that are worth the hype. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm breaking this video down in a few different sections. We have loose setting powders, we have like the finishing powders, and then I'm also gonna include some foundation powders. First up, and this is in no particular order, but y'all already know this is a holy grail. Coming in hot, we have the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I'm sure if you watch any plethora of makeup videos, like, you have heard about this girl. She is the it girl of it girls, and like Laura Mercier did their thing with this one. Like, this is a timeless product, and I feel like there's never a time that I will not use this girl right here. So she comes in translucent. She has like a medium deep shade, and she also has translucent honey. I like the regular translucent one the best. The honey one is okay, but I like the Holy Grail translucent the best. It's great for setting under the eyes, dust, and just everything. She's your all-around girl. Next up is a recent favorite, and this is the One Size Beauty setting powder. This shade right here is Sweet Honey, and y'all, this is what I have on right now under my eyes, and I just feel like I look bright, I look full coverage, I look seamless, flawless, all the things. So lately, this baby right here has been coming in clutch, and I feel like this has like a decent amount of product in it, you know what I'm saying? So definitely, if you want to try out a powder, they also have travel size if you want to test it out. But I've been loving this setting powder. This next one I like to grab whenever I see it. Like, I'm like, oh yes, she was and still is that girl, and that is my Huda Beauty loose baking and setting powder. So this is the Easy Bake setting powder. This is the shade Kunafa. If I'm saying it right, that is this shade. And y'all, like, I love how banana-y yellow this shade is. They do have a banana shade as well, which is a little bit less yellow. I have multiples of these, and Huda just does it for me. I'm not gonna lie, Huda does it for me. Like, this, I'm gonna grab this if I'm doing like a full coverage, like snatch look. Like, if you haven't tried the Huda powder, it's the one to try for sure. Last but not least, for my loose setting powders, this one is a drugstore version. I wanted to make sure I include drugstore versions along with the ones that are, you know, worth the coins, high end. And this is the e.l.f. matte setting powder. It's the shade medium or tan. Now, disclaimer, every time I try to link this powder for you guys, I can never find like a link for it. And I don't know if they replaced this with the Halo Glow setting powder, and the Halo setting powder is slightly different than the matte one. These I've always bought like in store at like a Ulta, so I don't know if they discontinued this or they're rebranding it or what, or whether the Halo one is this one, but this setting powder is really good. Another one to mention, an honorable mention that I don't have on me right this second, I'll put a picture up, is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose setting powder. That is also a great setting powder if you're looking for an affordable drugstore setting powder. So finishing powders, these powders are going to be a little bit more of sheer coverage, but great for finishing the face, blending everything together, all seamless. Yes. So y'all already know Miss Mamas. This is the Sephora Collection Micro Smooth Powder. I currently use Almond. I used to use Mahogany, so both of them work well for my shade. Y'all, Alyssa Ashley put me on this powder years ago, and when I tell you, it don't miss. It don't miss. Like, this is hands down like my favorite finishing powder. Now, with that being said, Miss Charlotte, Miss Tilbury, baby girl, this airbrush flawless finish powder right here is in the shade 310. She's that girl. The bronzers is also that girl, but she is that girl. So Charlotte Tilbury, like, eats every time. Love it. The next one that I have for you guys is the more affordable version, and that is gonna be our Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder. One thing I love about the Fit Me lines is that the numbers all pretty much correspond. So if you're 330 in foundation, you can get the 330 pressed powder, and it's pretty much going to be the shade you need for a face powder. I'm more 340, 338-ish, so those are the ones I lean towards. This one is a little light, so if I wanted to use this to set up under the eye, I could, but nonetheless, this is a great finishing powder. On to the underdogs. Not the underdogs, but I feel like we sleep on these face foundation powders, right? So I don't feel like we wear foundation powders like, you know, they used to back in the day, where it's like either you a liquid girly or you a powder girly. You one or the other, like you not both, right? But no, girl, we done unlocked the key that we need to set the liquid with the powder, and the powder foundation is giving you full coverage glam, okay? So here's my full coverage contendees. Hold on, my sister calling me.
Oh, you're back on it. Like you never missed a beat.
And is.
Sorry, I fell asleep.
You fine. Can I call you back in 10 minutes? This one, I just pulled out some drugstore favorites that I want to share with you guys. And first up is going to be our Maybelline Super Stay. This is their hybrid powder foundation. And this foundation has coverage, okay? So like if you're looking to really give the girls coverage and really like melt everything together, this is that girl. Also, you can use foundation powders if they're the right shade to also help you set like your concealer. So if you have a lighter one, this one's 332, but if I had like 330 or something like that, like I could probably use this foundation powder to set under my eyes if I wanted to use a pressed powder. Next up, she is that girl, and I hate to say that I forgot about her because she was in the back of my drawer, but she needs to make her way back to the front, and that is the L'Oreal Infallible powder. I'm not sure which shade I use, but definitely a shade or two lighter than 365 Copper. Again, this is a very warm one that I would use to like bronze or contour, but the shade I would normally use is a little bit lighter. I know in the Infallible foundation I'm soft sable, so it should be somewhere around that shade. And baby, this the one, it went viral on TikTok a year or so, a couple years ago, whatever, for having that coverage. Okay, she has that coverage. Now this shade I have right here is Copper 365, and as you can see, this shade is something that I would use more to bronze up my face. So again, don't sleep on foundation powders as bronzers, because they melt really well into your foundation because they're basically a foundation product. So definitely try out these. Don't be afraid to try out different shades other than your skin tone to utilize it for multiple purposes. So like if you like this powder a lot and you want to use it for your face powder, but you also want to get a darker one to use it as a bronzer, go ahead, girl. Nobody clocking you. I'm supporting you, honey. And then last but not least, I have the Juvia's Place foundation powders, and this obviously isn't my shade. They sent me all the shades, but this right here, again, similar situation. If you want to use different shades of the powder foundation to use it to bronze, this is a shade Zaria. I actually used this to bronze my face today. So like if you want to use a darker shade to bronze, or use your shade to, again, set the rest of your face, make everything blend, like baby, she's that girl as well. All right guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and these are my top 10 holy grail setting powders, finishing powders, foundation powders that are worth the coin. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and y'all never forget, at the end of the day, without regrets, love yourself and be you. Tipple. Bye y'all.